what happened. We had no power for 2 days and everything was pitch dark. "Babe, what happened? Why is she crying?" My wife was laying on her bed, swaying and our daughter desperately trying to calm her down. She was stressed and feeling anxious as she was struggling to nurse our poor little daughter, and tears of desperation ran down her cheeks uncontrollably. I rushed to the kitchen and grabbed what I realized to be our last portion of milk from our already thawed-out freezer. And that's when she said the words that made my heart stop. "The baby," she said, "she won't stop crying. She's hungry." As I was preparing the baby bottle, I saw how her heart sank, as dark thoughts were rushing through her mind. Nora looked at me, and in sorrow she said 3 words I am sure I'll never forget. "It's your fault," she cried out. I felt like such a failure. I was mad at the power company and authorities that I trusted to keep us safe for all these years, mad at God for bringing this tragedy upon us, angry at myself for believing nothing could happen to us, and angry for doing nothing to prepare and putting my family in this situation. So why am I telling you this story today? Well, although this is very embarrassing for me to share, my really personal episode made me go on a journey that changed not only our lives, but also that of thousands of hardworking families from all over the world. A journey that led me to discover a small and powerful energy hack from a small Australian village, which people secretly used to get as much power as they needed, live a better life, and save their hard-earned money month after month. Something so powerful, it would allow you to generate enough electricity to slash your monthly power bill by 50%, 70%, or even more starting today, while keeping even a 4-bedroom home heated to a balmy 77 degrees, regardless of the freezing temperatures outside. Making even top researchers lost for words and leaving every person in our community eager to know our secret. And in spite of what you may think, becoming completely independent can be done without having to rely on a roaring engine that you have to fill with expensive gas all the time, having to invest a fortune in solar power systems that won't do you any good when the weather turns sour, having to install tricky wind turbines that are fickle as the breeze. They've been preying on a trusting public for years, making you believe that there's no other option, that you have to pay through your nose for electricity for life. Well, there is an answer. A little-known but highly efficient technology that NASA is funneling considerable resources into developing, and which they believe can revolutionize the way we look at energy forever. An innovative concept that's starting to be taken seriously, even by commercial and governmental interests. But don't worry. Thanks to some ingenious modifications made by one of the most brilliant engineers in the field of renewable energy, using the simple energy hack which you're about to discover today in this free presentation, which only a few select people of a tiny old village in Australia know about, you can easily make your own green cheap electricity and completely cut the dependency on the money-sucking energy cartels, who depend on your deception so you think you can never generate a single watt of electricity by yourself. And yes, you'll be able to do it without having to spend thousands of dollars on overpriced systems controlled by the same greedy CEOs. Using my discovery of this effective set and forget energy hack, something that every single American family can easily and affordably use, and know with stone-cold certainty that no matter whether there's a disaster, a cyber attack, or just a bad winter storm, your family will never be without power again. This near-miraculous solution to becoming self-sufficient I stumbled on, that literally changed our lives completely and helped us eliminate our electric bills almost entirely, is too important to be kept under wraps forever. And up until a year ago, that has been the problem. This fast and easy way to power freedom was right in front of us all this time and hidden behind the same people we trust to keep us safe. But not anymore. Honestly, you've never seen anything like this before, and in 5 minutes from now, I'm going to reveal why everything you thought you knew about renewable energy and saving on electricity is downright wrong, and why every alternative power source you may try will do the job for a while, but will eventually fail. You'll be furious that you ever gave Big Electric a single red cent. I'm going to show you exactly how you can set up this unique energy hack with dirt-cheap supplies from your local hardware store, and reveal how you, with the aid of this powerful, proven method, can save up to 67% or more on your power bill starting today, and can pay as less as $20 instead of $100, or $50 instead of $250 on your monthly electricity bills for the rest of your life. Plus, since the design is so brilliantly simple, I promise that even a 12-year-old child could make it in an afternoon. As a matter of fact, very few people have heard about this easy and innovative breakthrough, It's so efficient that over 37,400 families have already used it to free themselves from the clutches of greedy executives, and more are joining in every day. Meaning every day my inbox is full of new success stories from people who have had amazing results. And just as I can guarantee the fish can swim, so can I guarantee this will work for you too, even if you're as handy with a wrench as a baby with a rattle. You're 16 or 69 years old. Even if you think you've tried or seen every single alternative energy source out there, or you're just concerned about the future safety of your family. I'm sure you're already thinking there's no way it could be true. You may even have doubts. Well, today you'll discover a totally different approach to renewable energy and the real secret that makes all the difference. I don't know how much longer I'll have this free presentation online, so it's very important to watch this right now while you still can. Just in the United States, the electric power sector generates a revenue of $406 billion, and that number is steadily growing. And their sole purpose is to condition people to be totally grid dependent and train people into thinking that living off-grid is impossible. And they are afraid, since what I'm going to share with you today could leave its mark on their plan for making profits. The truth is, they will never support you to save a single watt of electricity. Instead, they will try to keep you a customer for as long as they can. And they pray that you'll never see what I'm about to reveal to you today. This breakthrough could save you up to hundreds of dollars each month and thousands each year. So by all means, keep watching. Right now, I'm giving you the opportunity to easily become free and independent, to never worry about every last watt of power, to never have to sweat your way through the summers and freeze your way through the winters, all because you want to save a few bucks, to never worry about paying through the nose on electricity, just to make the fat cats even fatter, to be self-sufficient, no longer trapped inside a legal monopoly that's holding you at gunpoint. Instead, you smile to yourself the next time one of your family members cranks the thermostat up to 78 degrees, or accidentally leaves the lights on in the family room all night. You feel absolutely zero stress, anger, or worry about what the cost will be, because you already know the answer is absolutely nothing. Now is the perfect time to break free from the ropes and chains of big electricity. Sounds good? So grab something to write with and stick with me for the next few minutes. Because I give you my word, you can slash those power bills to almost zero only by using my small and powerful energy hack. And that's it. It's as simple as that. Like I mentioned, my name is Chad Becker. I'm no electrical engineer. I'm no scientist. I'm no professor at Berkeley's. I'm just like you, an average Joe. I'm a 43-year-old fire truck driver, and I live about an hour outside of Sacramento, California with my beautiful family. I've looked after the people in my region and kept them and their homes safe for the last 7 years. I've been there when the Camp Fire destroyed everything in 2018 and also protected my community in 2013 from the Rim Fire. And I pretty much have an idea of how things can turn really bad really quick, just like a fire can ruin everything in a blink. And that's exactly what happened to our family. My really personal and somewhat embarrassing story began last year when we were blessed to have our second child, Emma. We were living a happy life and were full of the joys of spring, and like everyone else, taking our bare necessities for granted. In the autumn of 2019, however, all of that changed. We had no idea that calm day would turn into a gut-wrenching crisis that drove me to tears. We'd just been hit with the first major wildfires of the season, with blazes ravaging both the north and south of the state. Now that's nothing out of the norm for California in October, but this time it was different. Tuesday, the state's biggest utility company decided to flip the switch and turn out the power to 2 million people, including us, with barely any notice. By the time I got to the supermarket, the shelves were practically stripped bare. All the flashlights, batteries, water, and strangely, all the baby products were gone. The hardware store was also out of everything. Everyone was in search of a generator. It was mad chaos. And to make matters worse, my wife had absolutely no way to continue pumping and storing her precious breast milk for our daughter. I tried calling the electric company on my cell phone to find out when power would be restored, but all I got was a pre-recorded message saying that they were aware of the problem and that it could be between 48 and 72 hours before power would be back online. Unsure what to do and feeling helpless to protect my family, I went to the bedroom to see if Nora and the girls were okay. But what happened next made me freeze in my tracks. She was lying on our bed, in total shock, shivering and shaking uncontrollably. I could see the fear in her eyes, thinking about risking the loss of something very, very important to the baby, her liquid gold. I rushed to her and wrapped my arms around her in a futile attempt to assure her I will find a way out of this crisis. And that's when she said the words that made my heart stop. "Don't put your hands on me. You're a sorry excuse for a man. The baby will starve because you did nothing to protect us. I can't live like this anymore," she screamed at me. Hearing those words from the mouth of the woman I loved was the single most devastating moment of my life. I felt like my world collapsed. I felt powerless because there was nothing I could do to protect the ones I love. I decided right then and there that I would never put my wife and daughters in that situation again. So I began to immediately look at alternatives that would help my family escape Big Electric's monopoly and our safety. Because clearly, relying on the electric company wasn't a choice anymore. They said we can now expect rolling power outages for another 10 years as they upgrade their electrical systems in response to more extreme weather conditions. So when the power was finally restored about 2 days later, I locked myself away and started my research. I started by looking for local companies that did solar panels, and my eyes almost popped out of my head when I saw that the price tag for one of these systems was around $10,000. Even the DIY solar panel kits I found were still too expensive for someone living 2 steps away from the poorhouse. What about wind power, I thought. I looked out the window and saw giant gusts of wind thrashing in the trees outside. Well, upon deeper research, it seemed like the saying, "fickle as the wind," was appropriate. As I read that the technology was still unreliable, not to mention that they looked hideous outside your home. Gas generators were another option I saw people talking about online. But to get a really good high-quality generator, something that could provide enough energy for my entire home, I was looking at a $1,000 investment. And that wasn't including the cost of gas, not to mention they're so annoying and loud. For almost a month, I frenetically read everything that can be found on the internet. I buried myself into countless pages and studies and forums. I spoke to researchers, scientists, students, and even university professors for advice. But there was nothing new under the sun. I felt like that was the end of my rope, and after almost a month of hard work, I was back to square one. I was running out of options, and I was close to giving up. But early next morning, I received the envelope that would completely turn my life around. I'd been assigned to join a firefighting team in Australia battling the wildfires that have killed 25 people and destroyed 2,000 homes. They needed any help they could get, and they requested us as part of a reciprocal deal that sent 138 Australians to fight U.S. wildfires in 2018. Given the situation Nora and I were going through, this couldn't have come at a worse time, or so I thought. But having my hands tied, I depart for Australia, leaving Nora's sister to help with the baby. After an exhausting 27 hours flight, we landed in Australia. I'm immediately introduced to the people I would work with, a team of 21 firemen from the Brisbane area. That's when I met Keith Garrett and 3 other young men from a small village 60 miles south of Brisbane. As the days passed, I started to notice that there was something weird about the houses in their village. Every walk I took on the streets of the cozy village, I saw no overhead wires, no power meters on the side of the houses, no step-down transformers. In my hometown, I would never have spotted those. We are just used with the ugly scenery. So on one weekend, I pulled Keith aside and asked him, "I just can't understand where all the meters and transformers are. How does your power company deliver power to your home?" "It's simple. They don't. We make our own," he said. "Well, it doesn't make any sense, since I haven't seen any solar panels on your roof. Do you use gas generators?" Then I told him all about my struggle to find a reliable way to power my home and the difficult times I was going through. And I almost begged him to let me in on anything that could help me with my situation. With a nod and a smile, Keith gave me a pat on the back and told me to stay right there. Shortly after, he came back with a notebook and pencil and started to draw what seemed like a schematic diagram and wrote down a full list of dimensions and sizes. I couldn't for the life of me understand anything. "What's this?" I asked him, skimming through the notes. "The answer you've been looking for," he said, grinning like a Cheshire cat. "All our power comes from this flywheel generator," he strangely continued. "I am completely self-sufficient, and so are my neighbors. We ditched the power company a few years ago," he said. "Build this, and you'll have a reliable long-term power backup." With that, Keith got on his feet, gave me a wink, and returned to what he was doing. I tried to convince him to let me take a closer look, but he explained that that's the community's best-kept secret and asked me not to insist. The second I got home to the U.S., I began spending every waking hour thinking the best way to build this. I plowed through article after article, website after website, devouring any and all information I could about flywheel generators. I was absolutely blown away that I had never heard of this incredible technology. As you probably already know, the flywheel is one of humanity's oldest and most familiar technologies. It was in the potter's wheel 6,000 years ago. It was a key element in the Industrial Revolution, and today it's under the hood of every car on the road. But I just didn't realize how much energy this technology can really produce until I began to step up my research and hit jackpot. In an almost forgotten piece of transportation history, an obscure public transportation vehicle that saw service in Switzerland, Zaire, and Belgium during the 1950s, which used the flywheel technology as its main power source. The simplest invention, which ironically used the most misunderstood or enigmatic thing in the universe, gravity. You're probably thinking that there's no way such a simple thing like the flywheel could hold the key to green cheap electricity. Think about it for a second and you'll quickly understand why. When spun up, a flywheel becomes a reservoir for a massive amount of kinetic energy, which can be stored or drawn back out at will. The capabilities of such a device are as extraordinary as its unique design. In fact, recently NASA Glenn Research Center is involved in the development of this technology for space and terrestrial applications, and publications ranging from Wired magazine to Discover describe this technology as the next major source of clean power. The true secret of this energy is that it is so simple to obtain, and the fundamentals are so easy, yet few know this secret and it is rarely used. So if properly applied, it can produce insane amounts of energy. You essentially have an incredibly potent, completely untapped power source just sitting right in front of you. Finally, it all made sense. And as I started really crunching the numbers, I suddenly burst into tears. But this time, these were tears of joy because for the first time in months, I could actually feel that I was one step away from reducing my own energy and finally help my family become safe and independent. I couldn't believe my eyes. There was a completely sound breakthrough, proven to produce energy on demand, yet no one in the energy industry told us anything about it. After all, their goal was to keep selling their expensive electricity in so-called renewable sources. I was now highly driven and motivated to not only ditch the power company, but help others do that too. But I ran into a serious issue. The invention was not meant for DIYers. Simple as it was still pretty difficult to build for the average guy. I struggled to understand, yet I didn't have a technical bone in my body, so I had no idea what all these numbers and equations meant. It made sense now why Keith was so careful about sharing the exact design and why he kept it out of the public eye. I needed to see things from a different angle. I reckoned that if I was going to make sure I never let my family down again, and to get us safe forever, I needed to find someone who will build this for me. And at the same time, take Keith's original design and fine-tune it using 21st century technical knowledge and scientific know-how, so it will be something incredibly cheap and also very easy to put together. But of course, since I didn't have a single technical bone in my body, I needed help. So I called up Craig Brooks, a passionate, independent, renewable energy enthusiast that had over 23 years' experience and was really intrigued by my endeavor. Told him what I was trying to accomplish, shared the humiliating circumstances behind why this was so important to me, and asked him if he would help me draft the blueprints for this simple generator. Fortunately, Craig is a pretty good guy and a family man himself, and as an engineer, he's also the kind of person who loves a hard problem to solve. "I'd be happy to give you a hand," he said. So Craig took Keith's schematics and my research and built over 20 prototypes, some big, some small, each one refining essential aspects of the system. But finally, after a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and many different discarded variations, we finally came up with the perfect layout. The design was quite ingenious. Plus, Craig tweaked it until it was giving out almost 3 times more power at only half the input. The only parts required were a salvaged flywheel, plywood, some gears, a bicycle chain, some adhesives, and some screws, around $200 in total. And because of the remarkable way the device was designed, it generated an extraordinary amount of power, twice as powerful as the original Keith was using. Plus, I think the new design is also incredibly safe. No fire, no dangerous fumes released, no worry about creating a dangerous reaction. And the best part was, it is actually incredibly easy to hook up to your home's current energy source, even if you're completely hopeless at DIY. I literally couldn't wait to test it and see if it really worked as well as we thought it would. We plugged the device to the inlet switch, and we were totally shocked to find out that the system immediately went to work, quickly gaining up speed. And thanks to Craig's clever technique, all of that energy was instantly captured, providing a steady, robust supply of electricity right into my home. And the results were way more incredible than I could ever imagine. The meter was moving slower than molasses. And when that bill came at the end of the month, well, you could have knocked me over with a feather. 62% off in the first month. I think I did pretty good, and at the cost of $200, that's money well spent. I got it back in 3 months just by saving on the bills. And my family was becoming more and more confident and independent. Since then, my family has never paid a single cent on electricity again and was finally protected, secure. I'd done it. I had finally managed to cut the ropes and chains that were bleeding us dry month after month. We couldn't believe it. Well, before long, my friends and family members were begging to know my secret. They wanted to know how I was able to save that much on energy while keeping my family safe and secure no matter what was coming. And after I'd given them the simple building instructions and helped them create their own power plant in about the time it takes to assemble an IKEA chair, the results started to pour in. Without exception, all of them reported a virtually unlimited amount of green, cheap energy that they could use to power anything they needed. No more paying through the nose on electricity, run the AC at full power, keep their televisions on, their lights at full glow, and their basements comfy, even their biggest energy hogs. Needless to say, word spread quickly, and it wasn't long before I was getting phone calls and emails from people I'd never even met asking if I could share the blueprints for my clever personal power plant. That's when I felt like we had won, and I knew that I had to find a better way to share this simple energy power system with the world. So with Craig's help, I went to work putting together the blueprints, the materials list, and a simple follow-along step-by-step guide showing the entire construction process in a foolproof program that lets anyone, no matter what age or skill, build this energy bill-slashing machine. And we've called it the Kinetic Power System, the simplest foolproof step-by-step guide showing you exactly how to create your own home power plant today and considerably slash your electric bills in the next 30 days. And when you'll have the Kinetic Power System installed in your home, you'll be able to get savings of 50%, 67% or more without spending months in trying to build solar panels, wind turbines, and paying thousands of dollars. You'll enjoy even greater savings once you discover the 3 essential tweaks you can make in no time that will put your system on steroids. You'll be able to power up any kind of household appliances, from lamps and toasters to electricity hogs like refrigerators and AC units. You'll feel the peace of mind that comes from knowing that, should anything happen, from a mere broken power line to a nationwide blackout, or worse, your family won't be at the mercy of others. What's more, because the Kinetic Power System is very light and portable, it makes for one of the best backup power sources you could ever hope for. Unlike solar panels, it won't get blown off the roof by strong winds and hurricanes. And unlike conventional portable generators, there are no fumes, and you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars on fuel. In fact, there's very little to spend at all. Except from a simple maintenance check every few months, the generator is basically set and forget. And because the low-friction design makes it so silent, you won't even hear it running. So you can install it in your basement or in your backyard and not worry about weather conditions for 1 second. And even if the shit hits the fan, you'll still be able to have enough electricity for cooking and preserving your food, while others will beg for a leaf of rotten bread. It took me a lot of time and effort to develop a simplified method to build the system so that anyone, no matter what age or skill, can build it, even if you have trouble changing a light bulb. You'll be shocked by how few steps there actually are and how short the list of materials you need to build this is. All you have to do is follow the over-my-shoulder step-by-step guide and copy exactly what I do, and your Kinetic Power System will be up and running by the end of the day. And that's not all. You'll get the Kinetic Power System in electronic format so you can have instant access to everything from anywhere. You'll also receive detailed instructions that will show you exactly how to assemble your system in less than 3 hours and how to connect it to any appliance. The list of materials costs less than $208 total and will last for years. But if you have a junkyard in your town, you can probably find about 90% of those materials for free. Additionally, you're also going to discover where to find all the parts and pieces with the minimum effort, a full list of tools and how to use them properly to build your system, so you'll have an unrestricted amount of power inside your home. To date, more than 37,400 families have used this exact same system to discover the joyfulness and peace that comes with renewable electricity. Start now and get the same drastic savings on your power bills that they did. It's really that easy. And within literally a few minutes, you'll gain access to everything. Remember, there is no system like this available anywhere in the world. The Kinetic Power System is the result of Craig's passion for renewable energy, And beyond all the brilliant innovations that have gone into making this simple and easy-to-use system, you also need to understand that this is about something bigger and more important than energy. It's about keeping your family safe. I want to give you the opportunity today to make sure that your home is filled with warmth and love, that you have the extra money in your pocket to give your family the things they need and want, from school clothes to smile-filled vacations. Saving an extra $1,250 to $2,400 a year is a pretty big deal, especially when you can do it all without ever having to send another dime to the same energy conglomerates who are getting rich off your family's financial struggles. Because once you've taken 3 hours to build out this system, it won't matter if the grid collapses, electric prices surge, there's a natural gas shortage, or oil prices skyrocket. You and your family will always be protected and constantly having enough green energy to survive and thrive through any disaster. So if you're ready for the change this new powerful program will bring into your life and the lives of those around you, then the Kinetic Power System isn't just a solution for you, it's the only solution for you. First, you should ask yourself, how much is it worth to you to literally save 67% or more on electricity bills for good? To never have to fill the overflowing pockets of the power companies again? How much is it worth to you to feel the security and comfort of knowing that every night when you lay down to sleep your family is safe from any sort of natural disaster and immune from the unfair price gouging by the greedy energy companies? Imagine right now how it will feel the moment you know you finally found your answer to a free and independent life. And be honest, how much would that be worth? Of course, the green energy people are always talking about solar panels, but you can't get one of those systems installed in your home for under $10,000. And you still have to go through all the legal stuff, highly complex procedures, and local restrictions. You could also try to take what you've learned today and try to figure out your own system for creating real power for your home and spend a ton of time and money while you're experimenting. And it's way too easy to mess this up. Trust me, I've been there. But why even consider those options when you could just get the Kinetic Power System today and take full control over your life? The Kinetic Power System will completely change the way you look at energy. In fact, it's probably just as green as solar or wind power systems. And best of all, it takes less than $208 to have your own home power plant ready and less than 3 hours, so you can slash your bills by 30%, 60%, or even more starting today. Saving thousands of dollars each year, and pocket the savings and spend it on more important things. So let me ask you again, how much is it worth to you to literally get green, cheap electricity for good? $7,000? $3,500. There's one thing I realized as time went by. It's hard to wait for something you know might never happen, but it's even harder to give up when you know it's everything you want. So I decided to do something that might sound a bit risky. And while Craig recommended I offer the Kinetic Power System for $897, and my wife Nora insisted on at least $497, and even though over 37,400 honest and deserving families have happily agreed to pay even triple that price after trying it for themselves, and while I do think $497 is a complete bargain myself, I am aware of the hard times we're all passing, and just how hard it is to stay afloat in a world that just wants to drown you. I've been there too. I've felt weak and helpless. I felt the fear and pain in knowing my family's safety was at risk, and I couldn't do anything about it. And that's not what I want for you. Just thinking about it makes me sick. I feel really privileged to have discovered this amazing breakthrough, and I decided I absolutely need to let as many folks like you join in. So I'm not going to ask for $497 or even half that price. The whole reason we're even charging any money for this is only to cover our expenses with keeping this website accessible for as long as possible, so as many men and women as possible can reap the benefits. So I just can't let finances stand in your way today. I'm going to set the price for the Kinetic Power System at just $99. But if you act right now, while this website is still available, I'll let you have the Kinetic Power System, including the manual, the schematics, the parts list, and all the step-by-step guides, for a one-time fee of just $49. But if you want to take advantage of this rare discount, you must take action right now by clicking the big Order Now button directly below. On top of your instant access, I'm also going to make sure that building the system and running it is one of the easiest, simplest, and most pain-free experiences you ever have in your life. That's why when you take advantage of this significant discounted investment price today, you're also going to get unlimited customer support for a full 12 months. This is your safety net, where you can ask us as many questions as you want. There is only one thing standing between you and savings of $160 a month or more on your electric bill, and that's clicking the yellow button you see below right now. And if you act today, right now, before this presentation ends, you'll also receive this one-of-a-kind fast action super bonus, which will definitely supercharge your results. It's called the Kinetic Infinite Storage Plan. This foolproof step-by-step guide will reveal how you can store the extra power the Kinetic power system will be putting out. So absolutely every single watt of that valuable energy will be right there available for you when you need it. You will discover how to use the same breakthrough technology to create an efficient storage solution massively more powerful and quicker than most existing alternatives. Now you'll be fully prepared with a portable, green, and impressively high-efficiency system, bringing you one step closer to your energy independence. Sounds good? Have a look below this video right now. Do what's right for you and your loved ones by pushing the Order Now button you see below. As soon as you click that button, you'll instantly go to a secure checkout page where you'll be able to choose your favorite payment method like PayPal or credit card, and you'll receive full access to the Kinetic power system so you can get started immediately. And rest assured, your investment today is one time only, no future charges, no delays. We find those just as annoying as you do. Just click the button that just appeared below. I hate to say this, the clock is ticking, and I can't guarantee that I can keep this price for longer, especially since we're giving 12 months of unlimited email support. So don't get mad if you come here in a few days and see that the price has gone back up. Why take a chance when the answer is right here in front of you? Hit the button below and secure your spot in the program. And if you're still having second thoughts about the Kinetic power system, I don't blame you. So to prove that this is going to work and you really have no reason to worry, here's what I'm going to do. I'm offering you my 100% risk-free, unconditional money-back guarantee for 60 full days. It's simple. Get the blueprints today and put them to the test. If for any reason you're not blown away by the results, if you're less than thrilled with how much you're saving on electricity every month, if you only save $80 per month on your electric bill and you wanted to save $130, or for any other reason, or for no reason at all you have to do is write us a short email at the address you'll find in the members area, and I will refund your entire investment with no questions asked. You have 60 days to decide whether this was a good investment or not. And if you want to claim this rare discount and take advantage of this incredible offer, all you have to do is to click the Order Now button you see below right now. No shipping costs, no delays, no subscription, just a 100% secure one-time payment. Use the step-by-step guide and blueprints. It's really clear-cut and as close to done for you as humanly possible. And see for yourself how easy it is to make your own electricity with the Kinetic power system. Feel the peace of mind that comes with knowing you won't be in the dark again. And see what it's like to take your electricity bill down to almost nothing by the end of the month. And you'll be covered by a full 100% money-back guarantee that's good for 60 days. So the choice is yours. You could just click away from this presentation and do exactly what the big energy industry hopes you will do, locking yourself in a lifelong period of overpriced monthly punishments. I'm sure you already felt that again and again, giving no ground for hope. Feeling frustrated about fighting an ongoing war against your family when it comes to their energy use. But why on earth would you consciously take that decision for just a few bucks? When all you have to do is invest a tiny, one-time fee in the Kinetic power system today and experience for yourself the power of this amazing program and see what it's like to live a worry-free life. Just click the Order Now button you see below and try the Kinetic power system for yourself right now, 100% risk-free. Do that and get everything I showed you in this video, plus a few other surprises that are too hot to even mention here. You'll also receive unlimited support for 12 months. And with our generous 60-day guarantee, there's really no way you can lose. I think your decision is pretty obvious, but I can't click that yellow button for you. So you need to act fast if you don't want to miss out on the opportunity of a lifetime. Join the 37,400 thrilled families that have realized that there is a better, simpler, and a more cost-effective way to power their homes. You need to get in right now, while you can, to get your hands on this incredible technology. Click the button you see below, and I look forward to seeing you inside that members-only area in a few moments from now. Still here? There are some questions that I keep receiving from people, and I'll try to answer a few here. 1. If the Kinetic power system works so well, why aren't more people using it? There are more than 37,400 families already using the Kinetic power system, but every serious prepper that uses it won't brag about it. For some, it's the fear factor. Most people think that it is too complex to build. The fact is, the kinetic power system is easy when you have the proper blueprint. 2. How hard will this be to make? This is so simple and easy to build, you'll kick yourself for not taking up the kinetic power system earlier. The whole thing takes 4 hours, doesn't require strength and much knowledge. That's all. And really, there's no excuse for not giving it a try. In fact, if you don't want to lift a finger, you could still do this. Just pay someone $50 to read the blueprints and put together the kinetic power system for you. It's more fun than Legos, and many of our clients are saying that they love it. 3. How long will this take? It could take you a little over 60 minutes to read the blueprints, and that's it. Building the kinetic power system takes around 4 hours if you're slow, a lot less if someone's helping you. 4. Is this really risk-free? Yes, as I said, you're covered by my 2 months no-question-asked money-back guarantee. If for any reason you want to return the program, you have 60 full days to do so. No hassles, no delays, no hard feelings. 5. Will I be billed anything else after I order? Absolutely not. Rest assured this is a one-time payment only. This is not a recurring program of any kind. There are no hidden charges or subscription fees whatsoever. I've always hated that stuff as much as you do. 6. How do I get access to the program? Will it be shipped to my house? We're living in the digital era, and one of the things I'm really proud of is how we deliver this program. Our ordering system uses state-of-the-art encryption technology, so when you go to the next page to place your order, rest assured your details will be 100% protected. After you enter your payment information on the next page, you'll get instant access to the package. It's an easy-to-use online members area where you can find all the sections of the program, the bonuses, and some special surprises. We've included a support and FAQ section where you can find out how to download and access everything among other useful information. So go ahead and seize your opportunity now by clicking the orange Order Now button below.